What's up, everybody? The videos that you guys just saw were taken on the day of our state championship that was held in 2016. Here's the playoff shirt. Just to note the coincidence that was on a Friday. Of course, when I was filming the aftermath video, when I was sitting down here and I was explaining I was wearing this shirt, it was 2 a.m. on a Friday night, Saturday morning, technically. It was raining and it was cold. Right now, it's a Friday night, Saturday morning at near 2 o'clock in the morning. It's raining due to Hurricane Harvey, and it's cold. So with that being said, I want to get into the story because it's very significant for many people. I want to discuss, before, during, after the state championship, and then, give the current seniors and the rest of the football players a great message for the season to come. So first off, before I begin the story, I want to address that yes, I'm doing this specifically because the Regions football games are about to start in a week. Their first game, their season has already started before. Just on the 1st of September, they have their first game against Parrish. But we'll get into that later. First off, let's start with the story. So first things first, it was the day of December 2nd when the state championship took place. It was in Waco, Texas, at Waco Midway Stadium. We're going. It's the morning. Everybody's pumped. Everybody's psyched. We went through our final practice. It was raining throughout the whole day. Not too bad, but it was raining enough to where we actually had to replace the pep rally and put it indoors inside the gym. Packed the buses, left, and when we got there, I think everybody felt like the sense of this is the end of the road. This is it. Like, there's no going back. Here's one last look at the stadium, and we're gonna start this game. This is the ship. This is the ship. Win or lose, you're still going home, and just basically our mindset was just make the best of this moment. Let's kick some ass. And our opponents, Grapevine Faith, as all of you guys know, they were a big competitor. They suffered through a way harder district than we did with amazingly talented teams. So of course we had our match cut out for us for sure. They had athletes. They still do have athletes. We had athletes. We still do have athletes. Regions still does have crazy amount of athletes on the football field right now. I remember right before the game started, everybody was getting pumped up. Everybody was giving the motivational speech.
Who ready? We ready. Who wants it? We want it. Who got it? We got it. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Whose house? Our house. Let's go.
Everybody was ready. Right before the game started, everybody was, it was raining and it was cold throughout the whole night. So everybody was, had their little warmers, hand warmers, they had their blankets and everything. So a lot of people were really cold at the beginning of the game. And after the game kicked off, the whole starting lineup was not cold at all. They did not wear any jackets. They did not wear anything. It was 45 degrees and raining, so the wet rain made it even worse for the players and for the fans. But it was a crazy moment. It was a crazy moment starting because no one really knew what was going to happen. Throughout the whole game, it was a really close game. There was never really a double-digit lead. It happened to be that we actually did go into overtime with a 16-16 tie. We were doing well. We went into double overtime. And this is where it gets really crazy. This is where the game really starts to unfold. There was a play where we fumbled the ball, we caught it, and that was in the first overtime. The second overtime, we had our running back ran straight in for a 4-yard touchdown. Easy peasy. We had this kickoff play, just to tie, send it to third overtime for sure. So our kicker, Zach Robert, he's a senior now. Zach, if you're watching this, shout out to you. He kicked it, but the thing was that before he actually kicked the ball, Grapevine Faith actually called a timeout, and so we had to re-kick the ball. And it's just so happened that Regions called a timeout on the second try. In that moment, I was like, oh shoot, we're probably going for two. And my guess was right. I was me being the little water boy or whatever you want to call me. I was giving waters to the people in the huddle, and our head coach said, Coach B, he said, "You guys want to win this game?" And I remember that. I remember this moment like it literally was yesterday. He asked, "Do you guys want to win this game?" And they were like, "Well, hell yeah, we do." So he was like, "We're going for 2." And I was like, "Let's freaking do this." You know, I was pretty confident. I was, you know, I've always been confident in my of Regents and, you know, the head and the coaching staff. And so I was like, "Okay, I think we're gonna win this game." It just so happened that the ball was just a bit overthrown to where our tight end couldn't catch the ball, and so we ended up losing. And that was where I was actually personally, of course, everybody else was just devastated and they were crying, and you know they have the right to be, 100%. But right after that, I remember just being in shock. I just didn't know what I was seeing. I was like, did we actually lose? I was actually denying it for like the first couple of seconds, and then I turned to my left, and I saw a good friend of mine, Cooper. He was tearing up, and I was like, "Hey, man, you know, I don't have anything else to say." So it was a good season, and I was sincere about that. Because it was a great season, but of course, everybody was so devastated and just pissed off about the situation that, you know, they couldn't help but cry, and it sucked. So of course, I've addressed the fact that everybody's devastated. Walking back to the water table, you know, I'm seeing a bunch of my friends just like down on the floor crying and crying, and I'm like, well, what the hell's going on? And you know, I was just, why are people crying so much? And you know, that didn't really get me like choked up, but just like the thought of the season being over, it still shocked me. Like I wasn't emotional at that stage. I was just shocked. I was in, you know, emotional. I mean, almost in emotional distress. I don't know. It was really weird because I've never felt like that. I mean, I've never been that shocked in my life, or about a sports game at least. And afterwards, after everybody, you know, packed everything up, but you know, we went into the huddle outside of the football field. You know, I was just saying, I was talking to my friends, and I was feeling fine emotionally until I came up to my friend Will, because we've had this bond over the whole high school, and you know, we've been really good friends, and just to see him like emotionally just torn down, it was really hard for me. And that's when it really hit me and put everything into perspective. Like, man, this is the last game I'm ever gonna have with these people. You know, regardless of, I mean, I never played. I was just part of the trainer squad. It was just, I just didn't know, and that's really when I started to get like emotionally deteriorated. That's when I started crying afterwards. Like afterwards, you know, I gave him his mouth guard, because we had a little. I guess like a little superstition that if I carried his mouth guard throughout the game, we'd win, and it did for 13 games, and not for the 14th, of course, unfortunately. But yeah, that happened. And as I was going, I hugged my trainer, my friends, and my colleagues, or whatever you want to call them. And you know, I hugged him. I was like, well, it was a great season, and I've had a pleasure working with you guys. And that's when I started crying. Like I just couldn't hold it anymore. And then when I got back to Christy, I was just in tears, and Christy was in tears, and that's my trainer, one of my trainer bosses. And you know, when I went back into the locker room, dead silent, like it was as if the room was empty. I mean, people were there, of course, but it was so silent to where the room could be empty and have the same exact atmosphere. And I was, of course, you know, not the only one crying. But afterwards, I was really pissed off, because I wanted my senior homies to like win a state championship before they went off to college, because I knew that they really deserved it, and I really felt as if like they do deserve this moment. They do deserve that satisfaction, and that, you know, and that accomplishment in their football careers. A lot of people, you know, some people went off to college, D1, D2, D3. Other people just went off into college not playing not playing football. And but still, it was really sad for me just to see my friends like that. And of course, most of you watching the video will actually know about this, you know, as a very large portion of my audience. are my friends from Regents, and some are from St. Michael, some are from other schools and other states, maybe even other countries. But you know, the vast majority of you guys watching this video will understand what I'm talking about and will relate and can relate to what I'm talking about. Like I said, this video is dedicated to my football friends, my football homies, my peeps who are still playing football or have graduated and lived the moment that I'm talking about right now. Of course, you know, you guys mean a lot to me. And my final portion of this video is basically just sending a message to the football players who are playing football right now for Regents. And this does mean a lot because I want you guys to, you know, recognize and acknowledge that, you know, I still care a lot about you guys, and I'm gonna go to as many home games and playoff games as I can with you guys. Holy shit, my lights are flickering. You guys see that? Regardless of the fact, I was being sincere and then my lights started flickering because of the hurricane that's outside. Holy you son of a... Oh shoot, I'm so sorry. Oh my god. Alright everybody, so I'm so sorry about that mess. It turns out that my lights weren't flickering. My stepdad was just trying to scare me when I'm recording. And he peeped up on me, and I got so scared that I hit this wall so hard. I'll show you right here. This wall is so hard that I actually smashed the glass. You can see the broken glass right here. I smashed it open, and that was so unintentional. I've never actually done that to a wall ever, but whatever. Finishing up the story right now. Yes, I do have a message to all my homies, my football players. To the seniors, it's your last season. Just go for it. Go for it all. If the people are saying that you cannot win state because either you guys are not big enough, you guys are not fast enough, or if there's just too much competition in the league, don't take that too seriously. Just focus on, you know, your studies. You focus on your, you know, the main things that you need to do to be successful in the pre-district, the district, and of course in the playoffs. Take it piece by piece, put it all together, kick some ass, and have fun, because that's one of the biggest keys to success is to, you know, of course, kick ass and have fun. I know you guys can do it. I have faith in you guys. I'm gonna be there through multiple steps of the ride. For you seniors and for the juniors and sophomores, please help the seniors kick some ass, because that will mean a lot to them. You know, just make sure everything's all right. Help lead to juniors. Help the seniors lead the underclassmen so that you guys can have a wonderful season with lots of teamwork and lots of success. That's a key and prime way of being successful in any sport. I've been a part of quite a few of them. So with that being said, that'll basically end my message. We pretty much almost ended the video on an abrupt notice of me going crazy and being scared. Of course, it was unintentional. No aggression necessary. We're all fine. We're all good. Nobody's hurt. So with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to smash, quadruple, smash that like button. And I will see you guys in the next video, coming out soon. Peace out!